Hey guys, welcome to your first remote lesson. This is going to be chapter 8. We're graphing quadratic functions. All right, so you may be asking, what is a quadratic function? A quadratic function is anything that has an x squared in it. All right, and we're going to look at our standard form for a quadratic function, which is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. All right, so as you can see, this has an x squared, so it's a quadratic function. Now, the graph of a quadratic function is what's called a parabola. And the shape of a parabola is going to look like a U or an upside down U. All right? And the things that decide whether it looks like a U or an upside down U is A right here. If A is positive, we get our U. If A is negative, we get R upside down. So that's a parabola. Now, the most important point of your parabola is called the vertex. And the vertex is either the lowest point on the parabola or the highest point on the parabola. We'll say the minimum or the maximum. All right, if we have a parabola facing upward, right, our U shape, then this is the minimum at the vertex. If we have a parabola facing downward, it's the maximum is our vertex. Now you might be asking, what do we use a parabola for? Well, have you ever thrown anything? Obviously, we all have. What happens? Well, it goes up, and then it hits our highest point, and then it comes down. And the motion of what we call a projectile is exactly like our upside down parabola. So that's the most famous. The time it occurs most in regular life is what's called projectile motion, when you throw something. There are also different business trends, all right, that you will see sometimes that look like either of these shapes, profit, cost, and revenue being the most common. All right, so this is our introduction to parabolas. One other thing about a parabola is a parabola is always symmetric. And what that means is it's exactly the same on both sides. And we're going to have something that's called the axis of symmetry, which is a vertical line that goes through the vertex and it cuts the graph into two equal parts. All right? So if I were to flip this side over the vertex, I'm going to get it exactly on the other side. All right? Flip this side over the vertex and the axis of symmetry, then I get the exact other side. All right, so what we're going to focus on today is just finding the vertex and the direction, excuse me, of a quadratic function. So let's do an example. All right, I'll call it example house. So we're finding the vertex and direction. So let's have our example be y equals x squared plus 8x minus 3. So the first thing we need to do is find out what A, B, and C are. And if you remember, A, B, and C are just the numbers in front of the x squared, the x, and your constant. So in this case, there's no number here, so A is 1. The number right here, B is 8, and the number here, C is negative 3. So the first thing is our direction. And the only thing we're looking for when we find the direction is our graph going up or down? All right, and your up is a parabola like this. Your down is a parabola like this, your upside down U. And all you have to look at is the sign of A, like I said before. So if A is positive, this is a parabola facing up. So in this example, A is positive, so this is a parabola facing up. Easy. Next thing we're going to do is the vertex. That's a little bit more challenging. What we need to do for the vertex is use the formula. The x-coordinate of our vertex is going to be negative b over 2a. So all we're going to do is plug these numbers into this formula, and that's going to give us the x-coordinate of the vertex. X equals negative b, which is 8, over 2 times a, which is 1, 8 over 2. So my x-coordinate of my vertex is 4. Oh, I need to find the y-coordinate of the vertex. All I'm going to do is take that 4, and I'm going to plug it in for x in this function, and that's going to give me the y-coordinate. Now, you'll have the benefit of using a calculator, but I will do it on here regardless. 4 squared, I'm just plugging it into this equation, plus 8 times 4 minus 3. Our PEMDAS said we do our exponent first, then our multiplication, then our addition and subtraction. 16 plus 32 is 48, minus 3 is 45. I'm going to write this as a point, so my vertex is 4, 45. And that's it. Very easy. Have a wonderful day. There's going to be an assignment posted. It's going to be a Google Doc assignment. You can go and do it now. It will be due on Friday.